Hello friends, today we have to discuss about arrays in Java. Arrays are objects that helps to organize a large amount of information. Today we have to discuss about array declaration and use, passing arrays and array elements of parameters, array of objects, sorting elements in an array, multi-dimensional arrays. Array, we have to store array in multi-values. Array also object. An array is in size n indexed from 0 to n. The array holds 10 values that are in 79, 87, 94. These are the scores of any of the scores. Cricket example cricket scores. This is the index of we have to sort array in 0th index. A particular value in an array is referenced using the array name followed by the index of the brackets. For example, in the expression scores of 2 reference the value of 94. The third value in the array. If you take an array scores of 2. Take this. For example, in an array element can be assigned a value printed or used in a calculation. For scores of 2 equal to 89, scores first plus 2, mean equal to scores in scores. These are the code. To we have to get the element using up the array's index only. The values held in a array are called array elements. An array stores multiple values of the same type, the element type, integer, string, and character, etc. The element type can be primitive type or an objective reference. Therefore, we can create an array of integers or an array of characters or array of string. I also already told you in Java, the array itself is an object. Therefore, the name of the array is the object reference variable, and the array itself must be in some sense. I have to declare array in this model int of scores or int scores. You have to curly square bracket in this score after scores after the name of the array. You want to and declare the size of the array. We have to in any of the array concept we have to first declare the array of size. Note that the type of the array does not specify its size, but each object is a type of specific size. The reference variable scores is this is the example. Some of the example array is float. This is the float. This float array. This is the boolean. We have to first boolean array declare array. After that, we have to take the array's name and declare the size. This is character array. This is char codes. New char bounds again. Some of the array bounds are in running the. If you run the code, once an array is created, it has a fixed size. An index is used to an array. Reference must specify a valid element. That is, the index value must be in bounds 0 to n minus 1. Because of the size is n, we have to declare the array in 0. 0th index is 0. So, n minus 1 is the last element. The Java interpreter throws an arrays interface. This is if we have less than minus 1, minus 2, this is the not array declaration. And the array of above n or n plus 1, and these are not index. This is called automatic bounds checking. The bounds, for example, this is the example. You check if there are any codes can hold 100 values. It can be indexed using only the numbers 0 to 99. It counts as the value 100. Then the following references will cause a system at print and codes of count. Count is 100. So that's why the problem is less than or equal to 100. If it's less than or equal count of 100, there is no array declaration, array longer than of that. Each array object has a public constant called length that scores the size of the array. If you have declared the length of the array, it is referenced using the dot length. A array name dot length. Alternative array syntax. The brackets of the array type can be associated with the elements type with the name of the array. Therefore, the following declarations are equivalent. The float price. Float price. I already told this one. An initialization list can be used to instantiate and initialize an array in one step. These are the steps. If we have the array elements or array values already, so that we have to specify before we don't declare the size of in front. Note that when an initializer list is used, the new operator is not found. No size value is specified. The size of the array is determined by the number of items in the initializer list. An initializer can be used only in the array declaration. Array as parameter. This concept, an entire array can be passed as a parameter to a method, like pass making arrays actual parameters aliases of each other. Changing an array element within the method changes the original. An array element can be passed to a method as well and follows the parameter passing rules set. Array of objects. This is a strings. This is a string array. We have to declare 25. If does not create a string object themselves, each object stored in must initialize separately. Command line argument. The signature is the main method indicates that it takes array of string objects as a parameter. These values come from command line arguments that are provided when the interpreter is invoked. For example, the following. This is the Java main string objects to main. The strings 0 to index. Objects can have arrays in instance variables. Many useful circuits can be created with arrays and objects. The software designer must determine carefully an arrangement of data objects that makes sense of the situation. Next, if we have seen many about the arrays, if arrays, you have another concept, two-dimensional array. The one-dimensional storage is a list of elements. This the two-dimensional array can be the table of elements with rows and columns. Okay, we have mostly used to matrix methods. Matrix, if we have store a matrix of elements, that's a two-dimensional we used. To be specific, two-dimensional array in Java is an array of arrays. This I told. The two-dimensional array is declared by specifying the size of each dimension separately in double rows. First square bracket is references row. Next square bracket is references columns. The two-dimensional array elements is referenced using two index values. Value equal to scores of. I already told this. Array storage row and column can be this two-dimensional arrays. Expression type description. If you see scores first scores int row and column. Two-dimensional array or array of integer arrays. Okay. Scores of 5. This is the integer array. This is the row and column into the integer array. Multi-dimensional arrays. An array can have many dimensions. If it has more one dimension, it is called a multi-dimensional array. Each dimension represents the previous one into the specified number of the elements. Each array dimension has its own length constant. I already because of dimension is an array of references. Arrays with the dimension can be different. These are something called ragged arrays. So today we have discussed about arrays. You have clear about that. Okay, thank you.